Welcome friends, join me today as I clean, tidy, and generally reset my space. Cleaning and tidying is typically something that I try to stay on top of as much as possible, but every so often, you know how it happens, life just gets away from me a bit, and when that happens, whether it's because we were traveling, we've been hosting a lot, whatever the case, I'll often try to spend a day, or these days with a baby, a couple of days, just trying to reset to get my space back to a blank slate as much as possible. So that's what's on the agenda today, and whenever I do a big cleaning spree like this, I always like to begin with just tidying all of my surfaces up, the counters, the floors. These days with Oliver, the floors tend to be a lot messier than they ever used to be. Here I am just popping on a quick load of laundry, washing our hand towels, his splat mat, just our kitchen essentials. I find that cleaning just goes so much more quickly, easily if you first begin with a tidy environment. So that's what I like to create to start things off. So after tidying up the living room, the kitchen, I next tackled the dishes, putting away the clean ones, hand washing a couple of the dirty ones, and then also loading the dishwasher. Then with the dishes taken care of, I could turn my attention to our sink. And honestly guys, as dirty as this sink is, it's actually not too bad by my standards. I have a tendency just to let our sink get truly nasty, but I had actually cleaned this in the last month, which is a win for me. I'm getting a bit better. But that said, it did still very much need a good cleaning. So what I did first was just to go in with my cleaning spray, a toothbrush, to get kind of that under lip where the sink is attached to our countertop. Mold and other gunk always tend to build up there, so I always try to tackle that first. Then I went in with a scrub brush to clean out the rest of the sink, and then I didn't have any on hand, but if you want to, I know a lot of people love dropping a couple drops of essential oil down the sink to make it smell good. Let me know if that's something that you've done before. If you like it, I think that's something I'd like to try. Okay, but then before moving on to the counters, the cabinets, I needed to refill my cleaning spray. I've been using the Blueland cleaning tablets for honestly years now. They're a great, effective, and more natural cleaning solution option. All you need to do is drop the tablets into warm water, they dissolve, and then you've got your cleaning spray. So I just put some of their all-purpose cleaner into this amber spray bottle that I got off of Amazon, then spent a few minutes going around the kitchen, wiping off all the counters. Also took a second to remove the soap scum from our hand soap and dish soap bottles. Find that a bit of soap always tends to collect on those. Oh, and also did the backsplash while I was at this. I'm not sure how well this picked up on camera, but once I'd wiped everything down, there were still a handful of stains on our quartz countertops, so just went in with a magic eraser to quickly remove those. I'm the kind of person who, when possible, likes to use more natural alternatives, but there's nothing quite like a magic eraser to really remove stains. So yeah, did that, tried to use it sparingly, but works like a charm every time. Then I moved on to wiping down the cabinets, just spot washing them, but when you have white cabinets, they really do show everything. And then I cleaned our appliances. Okay, but then speaking of appliances, whenever I'm cleaning the kitchen, and especially doing any kind of deep cleaning, there are really four main areas that I like to focus on, the spaces that I find that we tend to use the most frequently and thus tend to get the dirtiest. We already tackled one of them in the sink, but then our stove and oven area, our fridge, and the area around our trash cans are the other spaces that I really like to spend a bit more dedicated time tackling. recycling. They're the things we use the most frequently in the kitchen, and thus they tend to get the messiest as well. So I'll spend as much time as I need spraying, wiping them down, removing any food residue, and then also I try to pay attention to the floor, the backsplash, the walls, just kind of around them as well, because I find that it's not just those frequently used appliances that need some extra love, but also the area around them too. Of course, it's not really practical for me to move the stove or the oven, but since our trash can and recycling can are lightweight enough, I do like to move those away from the wall to clean that as well. This is another space where the magic eraser comes in really handy. Then once I've cleaned the entire area around the trash can, I like to clean the cans themselves. I get asked a lot where I got these from. A lot of people notice the trash and recycling labels on them, and the cans themselves are just simple ones that I got from Target, but I actually ordered these little trash and recycling decals, which make it so nice and easy. Whenever we have people over, everyone just instinctively knows which one's trash, which one's recycling. It makes it easy to keep them straight and so things don't get messed up. Okay, but then at this point, the kitchen was looking pretty good, minus the floors, so I moved over to the dining room because our kitchen, dining room, and living room are all just one large open space. I kind of like to work my way around the space, doing the cabinets, the surfaces, the pretty much anything that isn't the floors first, and then I'll do the floors all at once. Oh, and not fully baby proofing yet, but since Oliver is going to be crawling any day now, decided to move this snake plant to the bathroom where I figured it would be safer. And then tidied up this little area I forgot about earlier. Then next I moved to the living room, just going around and dusting everything. Or I should say I started dusting. Once I kind of got started with this coffee table, I realized it was a bit dirtier than I realized. There was kind of some residue from drinks and maybe some food, I don't really know, on it. And so I wiped that down along with our windowsill and then dusted off the rest of the furniture. When it comes to dusting furniture, I'm kind of 50-50 on whether I prefer using my dusting wand or just fully wiping everything down. The nice thing about the dusting wand though is that I don't need to wait for everything to dry before replacing whatever typically lives on the shelf, so it's a bit more expedient. So if things aren't too dirty, I do prefer using that, but really just depends on the state everything is in. But things like bookshelves though, while they do get dusty, I don't find that they get that dirty, so I feel like the wand is totally fine. Okay, but that's how I like to approach the hard surfaces, the shelves, the tables, all of that. Let's talk about our textiles. This little lint removing tool is one of my favorite things for getting all the little pieces of lint, hair, all of that I always tend to collect on sofas and chairs. So whenever we're having guests over or I just notice it collecting, I like to just give my furniture a quick pass with it. Then as I was removing the lint from everything, I also noticed a handful of stains on our furniture. So I busted out, this is one of my favorite products really of all time. I swear by this stuff. It's the Miss Mouse stain remover. This stuff really is magic and a better for you option. So great if you have kids. Really, I'd recommend it to anyone. I just used a couple spritzes of this on each of our stains and then used my little scrub brush to rub the stain out. This is why I love this stuff. You can see it doesn't even take that much scrubbing and the stain just disappears completely. And then with all of our surfaces, the furniture clean, I turned my attention to our floors, first vacuuming and then mopping our entire main living space. Okay, and really quick, I figured I'd give you all an update on how I'm liking our Dyson cordless vacuum. We've owned it for, I think, about a year and a half now. This truly has just changed the game for us. Having partially, we have LVP flooring and then also a lot of rugs and carpet in the house as well. I love that the Dyson can seamlessly go from vacuuming on the wood to the carpet to the rugs. It's so lightweight and convenient too. Makes me actually enjoy cleaning our floors, which is never something I would have said before. I know a lot of people complain about the battery life, but I really never had an issue with that. It's not like we have one of the models that has a longer battery life. So yeah, just wanted to share if it's something that you've been thinking about getting for a while now. I'm a big fan. So I just did all of the floors with the vacuum, and then once I'd finished vacuuming, I followed up by mopping the wood floors. The one thing I'll say is while I do love the Dyson for picking up debris on the floors, there's nothing quite like a good mopping to just kind of give your wood, your laminate, whatever, just that deeper clean that it needs. I definitely mop a lot less regularly than I vacuum our floors, but this occasion in particular called for both, so I vacuumed to remove all of the larger bits from the floors and then mopped for that deeper clean. Okay, but then right as I finished mopping, Oliver woke up from his nap, so I just waited for the next day to continue with our cleaning spree. So the next morning, while Oliver was awake, I cleaned his nursery, tidied up, got his laundry together, and then wiped down all of the surfaces. So wiped down the diaper changing pad, the dresser, also tackled the rocker and the side table that we keep in here. And again, I'm not fully baby-proofing yet, but I am trying to start thinking along those lines. So I did decide to remove this little cup with the dried lavender. It's made of pottery, definitely on the breakable side of things. So wanted to remove that so that as he gets mobile, it's not something that I need to worry about. And then before he went down for his nap, I just finished vacuuming in here. He's getting pretty sleepy too, so I just held him while I vacuumed. And then I put him down for his nap and then just continued cleaning the rest of the house that I hadn't gotten to the day before. So I made the bed, didn't bother washing the sheets because that was one of the things that I had done recently. And then I tidied up, and then you know the drill, I just started wiping down all the surfaces. This dresser in particular was so dusty. And on cleaning days like this, I'm all about trying to hit some of those spots that you often forget about. So right here, I wiped down the top of our bed frame. It was really dusty. So just here's my little reminder. If there's little spots around your house that you often forget about, maybe it's things that you forget to move when you're vacuuming, little nooks and crannies, whatever, take the opportunity when you're doing a larger cleaning spree to hit those spaces. Okay, but then after vacuuming in the bedroom, I moved on to our bathroom. We do have 2 bathrooms in this house, but I'd actually pretty recently cleaned our guest bathroom, so the primary bathroom was the only one that I wanted to tackle on this particular day. I'm at a point in time in my life where I just don't have time to clean things that don't actually need it, but as you can see, this bathroom needed it. I don't know if this is true of you, but personally, I tend to be a lot better about cleaning our guest bathroom because that's the one that other people see. Our bathroom ends up getting a bit neglected, and that's not the way that it should be, but just talking reality here, that's really how it is. So really glad that we dedicated the time, the energy to giving this room some love. I'm talking about hitting the spaces that we often forget. Something that I did today was to just take a couple of seconds to wipe down, to dust off the little containers, the lotion that I have in this tray. Those are things that I use on a daily basis, but often forget to clean when I'm doing the rest of the bathroom. So it took a couple of seconds to wipe those off. Then I tackled the other sink, working my way out in towards the sink drain, and then just finished off with polishing the taps, putting the soap back, and then I cleaned the mirror. Normally I try to work top down, so typically I would have started with the mirror, but I just forgot, so doing things a little bit out of order here honestly didn't really change that much. Once that was in good shape, I moved on to the toilet. Again, just following that pattern of working out in, and of course I restocked our toilet paper. And ooh, I am embarrassed by this, but here you see in all of its glory, our toilet bowl just gets so gross. I don't know why. I feel like for other people, it's like a pink scum that develops when you don't clean your toilet bowl all that often. For us, it's like this black stuff, and it shows up really quickly. Like, this is probably not more than a week that I'd gone without cleaning the toilet bowl. So yeah, if you know why that happens, let me know, because I feel like this is the only house that I've ever had this happen with. That said, it is very satisfying to watch it all go away. And then of course, I finished in here with tackling the tub and also the floors. Okay, and can we just talk about this lip for a second? Whoever designed the shower installed this giant lip, which I'm guessing is meant to catch water, but instead dust, hair, and all kinds of stuff just collects in it, makes it so hard to clean. I mean, none of the shower is all that easy. It's probably my least favorite spot in the entire house to clean. Does anybody else have like a least favorite thing to clean? What is that for you? For me, hands down, it's the shower. I don't mind cleaning the rest of the house, but if I could pay someone to clean just my shower, I totally would. Okay, but then to finish this space out, I just vacuumed and then mopped. Vacuuming is an especially important step first here in the bathroom because so much hair just collects all over our bathroom floors. So there's really no point mopping until I've done this step. Oh, and I decided that this bath mat was beyond repair, so I picked that up. We're just going to throw it out because it is gross at this point. I'm going to replace it with a new bath mat. Then I just finished by giving the floors a good mopping, and the transformation that cleaning this room really had was just night and day. But then I wrapped things up by just taking care of a couple things that I'd forgotten to do previously. So put on Oliver's laundry that I collected earlier, cleaned the bedroom mirror, which I'd totally forgotten to do. And then when it was done, I folded Oliver's laundry as well as a load that Christopher had put on the previous evening. That's where I decided to wrap up with my cleaning. I feel like sometimes when it comes to cleaning your home, you just need to cull it somewhere. There's always more that can be cleaned, but I feel like I reached a spot where everything was looking tidy. It felt clean. I really don't think I'd registered before cleaning how dirty I'd let things get. I'm really happy with the progress that I made. So hopefully this can serve as some motivation, some inspiration to you. If your home is a mess right now, dedicate some time to clean, to tidy. I hope you enjoyed coming along today as we clean my home. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and I'll see you all again very soon.